Activate random. Sheesh. Activate random. Okay, I wanted to make this video about Times Square, okay? I think there's a lot of people probably searching this and I don't see any video about this. You want to save this video, you want to press heart, and here it is. Finally, I have made this video first. Times Square, New York, United States of America, I think is the most weirdest and the most emotional related place on earth, okay? I want to make this video because I don't see any video, and for some reason, like places like YouTube and other places, they don't make video about local place for some reason. Like near your hometown, you don't see any video so much about them, you know, which is super, I don't know what's up, but you see about New York video, but you don't see about specific locations video. But I wanted to make this about this. Okay, so Times Square, New York, you know, the place with all these TVs and lights and all that stuff. You know, I think this place has so much emotions, my friend. Like there's so much things going on. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of other videos about this, but let me do some key elements over here, mixed up topics. That place is kind of like they call it a tourist trap, but it's not only a tourist trap. I think it's kind of like a world trap. It's like a human trap, okay? There's a hurry, there's some sort of self of urgency of everybody, we have to go there. When the moment you get out from the train station, you see the amount of people just running around toward the same center or the Times Square streets, and it just makes you wonder that, bro, where you guys are all headed, why you guys are going there, and what's the main reason behind it, okay? And if this many people are tourists, or this many people came through the embassy, how many people has signed, or how many times embassy gave this many people visa? Like I'm talking some really next level here. Try to think in that way. So this type of thought, like I went there so many times when I was little. You know, after school, I went there so many times, but then now I think even a big pictures, like I go through so much emotions, and I see, like for people, a lot of people gonna probably find this very valuable. Like, okay, finally somebody's talking about this. And this has nothing to do with no paranormal, no spiritual, nothing like that. But one thing is everybody's rushing to go there means, in a politics way, is that like we in United States build this place somehow, you know, or accidentally they build this place, but everybody inside the entire world want to go there, and they say, oh my god, what is this place? Because people love lights, just like babies love lights, kids love lights, people like lights. So they see this light, they're like, wow, this is so beautiful, I want to stay there. Okay, I'm gonna have to find a way to stay here, da 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 da. That's how these people think, right? And then they leave, and then they're gonna share this, and they're gonna show this to their friends, they're gonna keep sharing this on their social media. Then somebody else gonna see that, and then they're gonna like, yo, I have to go there. If I don't come to Times Square, then I'm a loser, like that. Or if I don't come to New York, that's it, like that. That is a huge marketing advantage of a country GDP. I think that's the part I think I wanted to cover first. Okay, like that is a very, like I wonder, like, oh my goodness, how in the world United States have built this thing? Like I don't get it. Like you talk about other thing, you talk about Manhattan, you talk about that, but they don't talk about the Times Square, that sector, that section that everybody's coming in. Like we don't hear something like, oh, I have to go to Taj Mahal, I have to go to Paris, France, that monument thingy. Like, but people don't want to go to Washington DC, but they will try to come to Times Square for that, and they're gonna take millions of pictures every angle, and they're gonna share that on their pages. Like people want to take more photo on Times Square than anywhere in history. Like that is unbelievable. Number one, I want to cover. Second thing I wanted to cover is that I think there's so much emotions. There's like let's say one other thing I want to get this out of my way is that, you know, there's used to be so many brothels back in the days, you know, all this grandma who used to do this thing, who used to do this, sell their bodies on Times Square back in the days. Even in 2001, Times Square was popular. So think about that part, right? At that time, back in the days, people who did these bad jobs, even people who sold the drugs back in the days, my question is, where are they right now? Are they still alive, or what's their condition? Like I think that way, you know, about Times Square. And if I go there and I go through, sometime at the beginning when I started going there to work, I go through headache. People go through headache because they see so many people. So when you're there every day looking for people, looking for clients, you're in a whole different level. You're a whole different person almost. Okay, you're near these lights, human-made lights and all that thing. Okay, that's number one. But the thing is, the people who were there before, what are they doing right now? They're probably moving to Maryland, South Carolina. So this is some of the key elements I wanted to tell you guys, so you kind of integrate it yourself. You kind of have your own thought process. Like when we are kids, we go there for funs, whatever, or we don't want to be home. Another thing, people who are regularly going to Times Square, these people, they don't want to be home. First of all, they don't want to be home, or I think they're not allowed to stay home because maybe their landlord kind of give them some sort of conditions like, hey, if you stay too much, then there's going to be too much electricity. A lot of the people from projects, they all hang out around there at nighttime. Okay, so all of this thing kind of like they're just there. Nowadays there's a social media, introducing to the social media time. Everybody's doing their TikTok over there. Like, they don't want to be somewhere else, but they're going to be around the lights. So all of this had to do with some sort of psychological. And the next thing I wanted to say is that, Naked Cowboy has been there for so long. He's been there before 9/11, from 1999. So on that spot, one day, there's so much stuff, so much things going on. There's people crying, there's girls crying, there's people are wearing weird outfits, there's people even look weird, there's people who are smoking, there's so many things going on. So imagine for last 10 years what must be happening over there. Like, I would be very scared to go to a basement on a theater over there, or any of the play theaters, or any of the building, or if they have any basement, like, I don't know what I'm gonna find on their basement, to be honest. Or if there's any tunnels out there, that is almost ridiculous for me to think. That place is I don't know, I think there's more to it, but people don't see that. You can't even say that as a big city, because Times Square is not really that big, but the thing is that human invented that thing, and that place become like a human. He's like a human, and one day we're gonna have a memory. But again, if you do have a memory in future, new people not gonna see you when you retired from there for whatever reason. You maybe used to sell drugs, maybe used to do crimes, or used to do anything. Whatever you did 10 years ago, they're not gonna see you 10 years later. But a lot of the people, they go there just for one time. So many people, how all these people manage to come here from any side of any place on the world. It's just almost unbelievable for me to think, how that even possible? That must be. And then you living in a hotel for 2 days, 3 days, how you even do that, bro? That is a huge thing. And there's so much emotions is the one thing I wanted to cover. That place have too much emotions, and I cannot stand how, I think it's better to avoid that place, to be honest. You can hang out on downtown. Downtown also have emotions, but people who are there on 2001 or 2002 on Times Square, where are they right now? That's my questions. I think that's the best thing to ask. Where the hell are you? And if you guys are going there, there's a lot of old people go there. There's a lot of senior people go there. If they do go there, how they might be feeling. I used to live there. This used to be my regular place, or I used to be a daddy's pimp, or I used to be a boss, I used to be a mafia boss, and this is how it looked like now. You will only see them on YouTube or social media, but you will never, oh my god, man, I don't know, it's very hard for me to explain, but you get my point. Just write and comment something, because me as a young man talking about this, while this does not even impacted me like that, well, it impacted me a little bit, but how your life or your past life, I can feel it. It's like going back to Bronx, the burned house, going back to those Bronx now and having a feelings, even though by that time I never even born. It's almost like that. It's almost like that. I never born that time. I never lived on Bronx. I don't know what is Bronx, but I'm feeling the burned house on back in the days. Nowadays, if I go there, that's kind of strange. So it's almost like that. I'm coming from that point. I think Times Square is super weird. I don't know, man. I think this is the biggest marketing place for this country. If other country would have Times Square, if India or China would have Times Square, forget it. That's their benefit. Over. It's just like people go to people go to South Korea a lot for BTS, just like that. I think people come to Times Square. I think half of the Times Square travelers are because of Times Square. Over.